Howdy, friends. We are live to talk about what just happened. Yeah, Pedro's here. He's pretty cool. We'll let him introduce himself.
Howdy, everyone. I'm Pedro Luna. I am the Spanish play-by-play guy for Texas A&M football, so I am excited to be here with Shelby and Sydney. Thanks for having me.
Of course. We're so
We're
excited
to have you.
So, first thoughts. What's the first thing that you're looking at this bracket that makes you upset?
For me, the first one, they were talking a lot about Alabama should be in because of they played in the championship. They shouldn't be punished. And then Duke played a great game last night. I watched it. They fought hard. They came back and they almost lost it. They won the champion of their conference. Yet JMU makes it instead of them. So that one, to me, if they're going to make a big deal out of Alabama being in because they played in the championship conference and Duke being the champion of their conference, in my mind, they should have come in, regardless of whether or not they're 7-5.
I see that. That would be unprecedented, though, to put a 7-5 team in.
Oh, absolutely. Yet, why? If not, then why do we do conference championship games, right?
It's true. You know who would throw a bitch fit if 7-5 Duke gets in?
Oh, I know. Down about 90 miles southeast of A&M.
A little bit over there.
Southwest, I should say.
I don't know. I don't know directions. I just know I don't go there. Let's see. Yeah, I'm shocked that Alabama's in and Notre Dame's not, but okay, sure.
I'm surprised Georgia didn't move up over Ohio since Georgia won the championship. Again, if they're playing, let's have champions up there. Yeah, Ohio played a tough game against Indiana. Georgia kicked Alabama's butt. I think they should have moved up.
And they avenged their early season loss, which is a big deal.
Right, exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I get it that I'm assuming that their reasoning for that will be that Ohio State took their first loss in the conference championship, but I still don't think Ohio State's a better football team.
Yeah, well, and Indiana, I honestly, I hadn't watched much Big Ten football, and my reference point was Penn State almost beating Indiana, and in my mind, they hadn't really played anybody, for that matter. Ohio State also, right? They struggled a little bit with Michigan, but they got that monkey off their back. I was surprised at how well Indiana handled Ohio State. I thought Ohio would come in, especially scoring early. I thought they would take advantage of the game, of the momentum, but Indiana turned it around. So I was actually surprised to see them win, and I thought they deserved it.
I don't know what to make of Indiana because I was not expecting them at all.
Well, and that's Indiana is really the poster child of NIL, right? They got a new coach a couple of years ago, and they brought in all the coaching staff, all the players. So they basically rebuilt it, right? Last year, Ohio State was the same way. They were a big NIL team. So Tech the same way, right? So it's they're all talking points for NIL and the way of the year now. I mean, we can also NIL. We can talk about North Carolina and how much they did and how much they spent, and we know where they ended. But they didn't have the chemistry, and you could tell that right off the bat. And there are teams that have the ability to build that chemistry.
Speaking of North Carolina, seeing Max Johnson in the transfer portal, I was like, do you know how old you are, friend?
Well, it's Max and Diego Pavlia, right? I mean, I was reading, I think, I can't remember who, it was somebody on Twitter, that Kyler Murray, who has been now 7 years in the NFL, or 7 years since he won the Heisman Trophy, Max is already playing in the NCAA. I love the family, the Johnson family. They're good people, but him being around, and Pavia as well, right? Trying to sue the NCAA again for one extra year.
Oh gosh.
And then who's the other one? Zach, who also he started playing football in college at the same time as Brock Purdy from San Francisco. And he's still playing. Yeah. He's still playing college ball.
Some of these guys, you're like, you need a job.
I keep seeing there are some guys I keep seeing appear, and I'm like, what? You're still
Are you
you're
sure?
still in college?
And then you have the guys posting their, I'm going to the job market. I have 43 years of eligibility remaining.
Yeah.
I'm like, yep, you get it. Not
Mhm.
happening. What do we, let's see, let's look at matchups. I just closed the bracket by accident. But let's see, we can talk A&M and Miami first since I know that one off the top of my head. What are we thinking?
It'll be a good game. I was trying to think the last time Miami was at Kyle Field. It was a great night. We had been struggling at the beginning of the season. The 12th man was camping out for tickets, and they showed up in force. And I remember the Miami players at the time literally writing a recruiting video for us, talking about how amazing it was to walk into Kyle at night. I just hope it is a night game. I'm surprised that they actually left Notre Dame out, but I am actually glad that Miami made it in just because of that head-to-head, right? So head-to-head has to count for something. And so Miami beating Notre Dame, in my mind, made sense for that. But it should be a really good game. Last time we played, it was at not the Orange Bowl, but in Miami at Hard Rock, yeah. And we didn't play well, and the Zebras helped Miami a little bit with not calling some holding calls. We struggle a little bit with special teams that day. Here's hoping we don't have a repeat, and I'm liking it. I like that matchup.
I'm very excited about it. I like Cassius Howell a lot, and I really think this could be his game.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, holding calls, let's go.
Right.
He reminds me of Miles a lot.
Yes.
Like a lot.
Yeah, they have the same speed, the same buildup. So he's had an amazing season this year.
And he just seems like such a good dude that he's just kind of
just like, having fun.
I'm here. I'm going to kill your quarterback. Don't worry about it. I've told Sydney multiple times that my favorite picture from the A&M season is him dancing over Garrett Nussmeier looking absolutely dead. Like just laying on the turf, and Cash is like, yeah, we're like, okay, Garrett's dead behind you.
Yeah, that one, and then him barking at the LSU O line during the timeout. That was greatness, and
just why not?
I can only hope that that's the energy that comes to Kyle, and hopefully we advance to match up against the Buckeyes.
I think the playoff game at Kyle will be absolutely insane.
Yeah,
that's the only reason I'm happy we lost to Texas.
Yeah,
like not happy, but like the consolation prize.
That's definitely the silver lining. Absolutely,
the consolation prize. Oh, you get to host at Kyle.
Yeah, leaving the stadium after broadcasting was definitely. I was actually, so people asked me because I'd gone to games in Austin as a student, and definitely the vibe was different as a student, just coming out and getting yelled at. After broadcasting our post-game show, we mostly ran into older Texas alum, and they were actually quite kind and wishing us safe driving back home, etc. But yeah, it hurt to lose just because I hate losing to them. But morning time was like, all right, cool, we're in the playoffs, we'll have a home game, we'll be all right.
That was the silver lining, just like, you're in, don't worry about it. Brush it off. Turn it around. And let's see. Oh, we have a comment. I'm going to put the comments on stage normally. It says, eat it, Irish.
That's funny.
I mean, hey, it happens. Does that mean we get to hear about our offensive linemen tackling their defensive linemen for the rest of our lives? Because if that doesn't happen, they get in because they win the game.
Well, but they didn't. They didn't get in because they lost against Miami, right?
It's
so
like,
that's literally the reason why they didn't get in, because Miami beat them head to head. So had they beat Miami, they would be. It doesn't
matter.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's see. Tulane and Ole Miss.
We've already seen how this plays out. I think both of these poor teams, and James Madison and Tulane, are just going to get clobbered.
By Georgia and
Oregon. James Madison might have a better run against Oregon than Tulane will with.
Well, and the question here though is how does the Ole Miss team bounce back, right? I mean, are they carrying that anger that they had at being betrayed by their head coach, and showing the world like, we don't need him, we're going to do this on our own? And granted, they have 2 weeks to get everything set up. Tulane is sneaky. They've had a good run. They surprised USC a couple years ago at the Cotton Bowl. I like the matchup. I think the fact that Ole Miss has new staff in place kind of evens it up a little bit. But I think you're right, Cindy. I think Ole Miss should be able to handle them.
I'm with you. I do think it's really interesting how their team is going to respond. Like, are people taking Lane's side, and are they kind of separate, or are they all together? Like, hey, let's show the world, like, we don't need him.
Yeah, I know from a fan perspective. From a fan perspective, I know they're ready to just take, run through walls for the new staff.
Right.
So it'll be a lively stadium there for sure in Oxford.
I mean, from a fan perspective, it brings you back to Schloss and A&M baseball. Like, you get, when that crap happens, the new staff gets the entire fan base backing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, we don't like him, so we're going to take whoever you put in, let's go for it. Of course, our thing was, Jace and all them said, oh, we like Mike. And we're like, okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, I think the players are happy with the staff that's in place right now, which is good. It'll be it'll be a test for the staff, right? Because I wouldn't mess around much with it, right? The play calling and everything that got you here, I think you should stick to it somewhat. And we'll see.
Also, quickly to Mitch, I don't care that you want a shot at Carson Beck. It's not happening. Not letting it happen. Not letting it happen.
Yeah, Carson, he was disappointing. At the beginning of the season, I was like, all right, well, Miami hired a gunslinger, right? Somebody who has the pedigree, who's got the experience, who's got the leadership. And then you see him starting to struggle, and you see him almost like a brat. And that rather than as a good leader saying, hey, it's on me, I threw those picks, he starts yelling at his team, at his receivers, and he doesn't want to have anything to do with responsibility for it. I was quite disappointed with Carlson on that one. And yes, I get it that Uga wants to get a hold of him, but hopefully it'll be us instead.
If we have any choice in the matter.
Yes, exactly.
I am most excited outside of the A&M game about Alabama and Oklahoma and Norman.
Yeah.
They did that on purpose.
Yeah, and it's interesting though, because you had heard through the weeks like, oh, they're not going to let matchups happen, yada yada yada. Well, here we are, right on the first round. This one for me is intriguing because Oklahoma has been a team of almost two faces. They sometimes they just kick butt, sometimes they just go, are we playing today?
Now, could you want to play? No. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And so in Alabama, while they didn't look good at all against Georgia, I mean, Ty, at the beginning of the year, that was one of Ty's problems, the fact that he struggled at away games. I was surprised when he won in Athens against Georgia, and at the time, obviously, Alabama was Georgia's daddy. But how he played yesterday at a neutral site is how I had seen him play earlier in the season at away games. So we'll see how he settles in at Norman. I expect Alabama to bounce back, but I also expect OU's fans to get in his head.
I love OU in this one just because I want both us and OU to go as far as possible.
Just to spite the people down south.
That's all I have.
Maybe.
I like Oklahoma. I think their defense can play pretty well against Alabama. I mean, Alabama had -3, -5 rushing yards yesterday.
Yeah, that was insane.
We had more rushing yards than Alabama did yesterday.
Yeah, we did too.
Because the entire SEC had more rushing yards.
Yeah. So if they can play strong and kind of shut that down and get in Ty Simpson's head,
Yeah.
I think they'll be in pretty good shape.
Absolutely.
Then we have James Madison and Oregon. I don't know anything about James Madison, but they sound fun.
I think Oregon should be below both Texas A&M and Ole Miss, but
yeah, I don't disagree. I don't know how I don't know how we fell 3 spots, right? But it's Oregon, but they got the easy path, right? JMU. So JMU, if I remember correctly, that's where Indiana's head coach came from, and so he started to turn that program around. And obviously, they lost a lot of players when and the coaching staff when it went to Indiana. This one, they lost critical games, obviously, but I think Oregon will have an easy path on this one. They got the easiest one.
Yeah, I think they will too.
You know, they can't give us an easy path. That would be too nice.
Of course not. That'd be too easy.
That would just be having to give us credit for what we do, and that we can't do. Can't do that. Let's see. Out of the top 4 seeds, who is most likely to lose in the second round, and why is it Tech?
Well, and that goes back to the whole Big 12 thing, right? They have good teams. The one test that Tech faced was against ASU, and they ended up losing it. Oregon historically has done really well in the playoffs, except when they played Ohio State last year. So I expect Oregon obviously to win against JMU, and then I think Tech would have the toughest path there for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also think a matchup, which I don't think is going to happen, but if Alabama were to make it and play Indiana, I think that would be a really interesting matchup.
That would be interesting. I think Alabama would have a better chance at Indiana. I don't know that I would put Oklahoma over Indiana, which is funny, right? Because we expect Oklahoma to win. Yeah,
we have the Crimson Tide glasses on, just like the committee.
Right. Well, because we've been trained in the SEC, right?
Right.
To just bow down to the King Alabama.
I mean, it's taken Kalen DeBoer what 2-3 years to tear everything apart that Nick Saban built.
Yeah, and that was the thing, right? Is funny how after that opening season loss against Florida State, everybody was getting ready to run them out of town. And so it's now here, everybody's on board. Now, had they lost the Iron Bowl, I don't know if they would have, I don't know how the fan base would have reacted to DeBoer, but I think right now they're pretty happy with them. The fact that, they're in the playoffs, and we'll see how they go.
I'm curious if my athletic director is about to call Reese Davis the wrong name again, make a 6'7" joke again, not answer any questions again, and how he's going to make the country laugh at him again.
I mean, Arkansas does a pretty good job at making us laugh at them on their own. So.
Yeah.
It's funny because everybody did not like the Baylor AD. And then it's like, oh, well, now we got somebody from the SEC. Oh, it's Arkansas.
Worse. It's Arkansas. I'm still mad we don't get Arkansas every year as a permanent opponent.
I know, as opposed to either LSU or Missouri. That just doesn't make sense to me.
My little sister,
Missouri altogether.
My little sister, who does not football, you met her, Lauren, does not football. She went on a tirade of, I don't even like Missouri. It's like getting excited to go to the dentist. No one likes this. And it was like, okay.
That's funny.
It's like, well, honey, it's not a choice. It's true, though. No one wants to play Missouri, not because they're scary, but because it's not fun.
Yeah, it's there. Although and obviously their program's been around for a long time, just not something that showcases a lot of them.
I think they gave us Missouri because we brought them with us.
Probably.
Like, this is your problem now.
Indeed.
I don't know. Let's see. Who has the best shot to win the title? Let's see. Oh, I want to say A&M, but I can't because that's
right. So The easiest path to get to the title is definitely Indiana, I think. Who's got the best shot? I'm gonna go on a limb and say Kirby. I think Georgia will have probably the best shot just because they've been there before.
And they know this. They know this.
Yeah, and they know how to take advantage of it. I historically we've always struggled with Ohio State. I think it was the second Cotton Bowl I went to as a student was Ohio State against A&M, and they just killed us, and I hated it. So we've always struggled with them. So I think for sure for my liking, Georgia probably has the easiest path. And look at that, we made Mitch all day happy with that.
Yes. He's one of our resident Georgia fans. He loves everything about Georgia. I tell you though, I would love a shot at Georgia, just to shut Texas.
Same,
if anything.
Same. I mean, it's doable, right? I mean, we just and that's another thing of losing to Texas that I take as a silver lining. The players got to feel what it's like to lose a game. They lost it against our arch rival, against somebody we despise, and they didn't play their best game, so they got it out of the way. And so now they have that sour taste of losing like that. So my hope is that they're using that as motivation for the game in 2 weeks, and then the next game hopefully against Ohio State, so that they can take that in and be able to showcase what they can do. Because to this date, we have not played a perfect game. We've had a perfect half, but we always either struggle at the beginning, struggle in the second half. I'm still waiting for the Aggies to play that perfect game offensively and defensively.
Mitch has decided that I had to break my ankle for A&M to do well. But now that I'm in the boot and the cast, the fine print is that the season is over. And I'm like, no, go away.
Well, we need to that boot needs to have some maroon and A&M logo stickers on it to exercise those demons.
If we have to sell our soul to the devil like 2019 LSU, I really don't care. I don't care. I'll wear my national champion t-shirt. We can be 0-12 the next year. I do not care. It's fine.
I would take 1-11 with the win at the end of the season.
Oh, see, that makes it even better, because you're 0-11 and we still beat you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what we want. But yeah, I would love a shot at Georgia, just because Texas has not beat them. And they're like, well, you haven't played Georgia, so therefore you're not even good. And I'm like, I want to play Georgia and beat Georgia and be like, so you said it's hard?
Right. So I'm seeing tweets flash by. Billy Lucci was saying that if we beat Miami, we get to play Ohio State at the Cotton Bowl. That would be amazing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That would be really cool.
That would be really cool. Texas A&M would absolutely have the advantage in my mind there.
Yeah. Tickets will be insane for sure.
My happy butt will watch on the couch.
I would be reaching out immediately to the Cotton Bowl media reps just to make sure I have my normal Jerry World booth.
He's like, look, I'm important. Can I come? I will speak Spanish.
They take really good care of us there. The staff, they give us the Cowboy Spanish radio broadcast booth, and it's pretty spacious. It's really, really nice. Actually, quick little anecdote, since we have Sydney from Arkansas here. This was, I think it was last year, or maybe it was the year before. We're broadcasting, and there's always a security guard right at the entrance of the radio booths. Mm-hmm. Somehow, some way, during one of the breaks, I look over and there's this kid with Arkansas gear on with nachos and a beer. And it's like, hey, you guys want some? And I'm like, what the hell? So I literally am texting our guys who are standing right behind me. It's like, what the hell are you guys doing? Because they let them in. They go, we thought it was a friend of yours. I said, from Arkansas at the A&M game? No, I don't think so. So, they walk them out and stuff. And And he goes, well, I was just offering nachos for you guys. And so then at halftime, I went to the security guys like, what the hell? Somebody just literally walked in with a beer and nachos to our podcast booth. It was crazy.
That is hilarious. Pedro, I do remember seeing you in the press box before the game at Arkansas this season. And I remember like walking past you and I was like, or maybe we were eating in that little area, but I just remember seeing your credential and it was like Texas A&M Spanish.
You should have said hi.
I was like, oh, that's cool.
You should have said hi.
I didn't know you were.
It doesn't matter. No, it was neat. It was, so they put us, and most SEC stadiums don't have an extra broadcast booth. My good friend Carlos, who does the play-by-play for Tennessee in Spanish, Tennessee doesn't have one for him, so he broadcasts all the Tennessee games from a radio studio. And LSU, they often bump us because ESPN decides that our game is good enough to be on ESPN national radio, so they'll give them that booth. And that happened with Tennessee ones. They were going to give us the booth, and they ended up, ESPN said, no, we need that, so ESPN took it. At Arkansas, they actually had us sitting right inside the stadium on a corner, and we were right next to the Skycam people. And but they took really good care of us. It was raining, but everything was, by the time the game started, everything was dry and it was nice and chilly. But we had a nice little tarp and a canopy. But it was awesome because literally I could reach down and shake hands with the Arkansas fans. We were literally right in the middle of the fans. Next to us was a wall with the suite. But and that is the first time I've, obviously, because we've been playing at Jerry World, but that was the first time I've been at the stadium, and it was really cool. I really enjoyed being there and the crowd and just how awesome everything was that night.
Good. It was a good night for our crowd for sure.
Yeah. And next time just say hi.
I will.
Sure. Yeah.
Sydney got her picture with Rev and immediately texted it to me.
Oh, really? That's cool. So you were on the field probably at the same time I was.
I was down there most of that game.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right. Pick your national champion, and we will talk right before the first round. I just looking at the bracket, you're like, yes, at this point. We can change later, but at this point.
I think Georgia and A&M would be a really good game if that got to there. So out of there, I'm not sure. I think Indiana can make it to the national championship.
Yeah, I think Indiana can make it. My gut tells me Georgia.
Yeah.
My heart wishes A&M. But yeah, my gut tells me Georgia.
My maroon Kool-Aid tells me A&M. We were joking before you got here. Sydney's like, A&M's just happy to be here.
We are. We're
happy to be included.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would be. I'm sure Indiana feels the same way.
COVID year, we deserved to be there, and they left us out. They put in Ohio State and Notre Dame, but we really, I mean, we only lost one game, and that was Alabama. So we truly deserve to be there COVID year. So it's been a long time coming for sure for us to be able to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Had you told me at the beginning of the season that we were going to be 11-1 and in the playoffs, I would have been like, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Sure. I had gone, so I do a show down in Mexico, and I had struggling against Notre Dame, against LSU, and against TU. So I figured we may have 3 losses in the season. 11-1, it's all bonus right now.
And literally emptying Death Valley.
Yeah. To where our guys are chanting the LSU yells.
Ruben's quote from the Pulse is my favorite one of the year. He's like, I like playing at opposing stadiums because I like to see the defeat in the other fans' eyes. And then he went on to say, well, except at LSU because they left.
Yeah, we couldn't see him.
I was like, Ruben, I love you. You win.
He's a good dude.
He seems super fun. Like he just seems like one of those guys that you're like, yep, I want to hang out with you.
Yep. Absolutely. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He's got a good dad too. His dad is really cool.
Yes, I've seen his dad on Twitter. I have his dad and then Tristan on the defense. I can never pronounce his last name, so it's with J.
Jernigan.
Yeah. His mom follows me on Twitter. And I'm
Yeah,
like, yes, this is Aggie Mom 101.
She's fun. So our Hispanic Network tailgate at Aggie Park is right next to the football families tailgate. So all the parents are normally next to us. So I get to see them pretty often. So that's pretty cool.
I love that. All right. We will likely have another show before the first round to really talk about each team as we get closer to the games. And you're welcome to be there, Pedro.
I would be honored. Absolutely. Let me know. I am grateful and honored to be here with you guys. Sydney, it's a pleasure to meet you. Shelby, always a pleasure. So yeah, if you guys will have me back, absolutely, I would love to be here. All
right. Thanks. Gig 'em, and we'll see y'all later.
Cheers, guys.
Go ahead, Sid. Say it. If we say gig 'em, you got to do it.
Fine, gig 'em.
No,
there you go.
Big, but okay.
I know. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking she go pick Suey, but no.
That's what she usually does. So I was
she
like,
converted.
I thought you were wanting to gig 'em out of me.
Bye, guys.
Big always.
Cheers. Bye.